Okay. that sound she made the moment I pressed the whole live button. What- Is that the dog or is that Stealthy?
That was stealthy.
Bless you, I guess. Is that you sneezing?
No, she's making a sound with her mouth.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Right, good timing, I guess. Anyways, welcome everybody to the BearThoughts podcast. We do this normally every Friday at 5 o'clock PT time. We took off last week, but don't worry, Curvo's here today, and we
Yeah.
also have Stealthy. She probably is eating something. What is she
I'm
eating?
not eating shit.
Why you
She's just popping her finger out of her mouth, making weird sounds.
She's just having fun with herself. Gotcha. Well, no, that doesn't sound right. Don't say that.
Well, welcome to the BearThoughts podcast, where anything and everything hits the cutting room floor. Nothing is safe here.
Oh. Before we get too deep into the weeds today, I want to say thank you. We have two new sponsors today of the day's podcast, and those sponsors are Star Trek, the Deep. Oh, it's a date, not that deep. Oh my God, my brain.
Star Trek Fleet Command Deep Space Nine package.
You want to keep it called Deep Space Nine? I'm like, it's not that one. And the HelloFresh USA is also back. Be sure to check out the links below if you want to help out this channel, help out this guy particularly. You can try either one of those. The HelloFresh is 65% off your first box, bless you. And Star Trek is a mobile game, free for everybody. It's also on PC, but they mostly want you to play the mobile game version of it. And if you were to play the game and get your second ship, you hit some stretch goals of mine. So if you be sure to go check that out, down the links below. If you have a phone, you have a niece, nephew, son, and uncle, and they like Star Trek, get them on the game. It's not bad. It's not a bad game at all. And a lot of call outs, even to the cartoon, which I found interesting. They even have cartoon characters in it. We'll get a little discussion about a little later on. But Corvo's back from his vacation, so be sure to give him another love. He's had a good old time, except with certain people with his entourage, which I won't say who they were. But otherwise, was it a worthwhile trip to you?
We did some stuff that was fun, some stuff that we wouldn't have done otherwise. So I think it was worthwhile, yes. Plus it knocked off an item on our bucket list that we are happy to have no longer hanging over our head. So
well, I'm surprised you don't have one of the things hanging over your head right now.
Yeah. No, I actually designed a holder for that, and I'm going to start it printing either tonight or tomorrow.
Okay.
So I went in and created one inside of Tinkercad,
and
I just got to print it and make sure it functions like I want it to. Anyway, but yeah, I mean, we had a good time. We built lightsabers, we built droids, we rode Star Wars rides, we rode Tower of Terror twice because my 7-year-old is not scared of anything.
Sorry.
We did a lot, dude. We did a lot in the 2 days that we were at Hollywood Studios, and then I would say the SeaWorld days were more a little more casual, a little less got to run here to get this done, run there to get that done kind of a thing. And then again in the middle of the week on Wednesday, we took a break day. We didn't go anywhere. We stayed at the villa the whole day. We played some Uno and some dominoes with the kids. We did pool. We did hot tub. Did all that stuff right there at the villa for a break day, because by then we had been SeaWorld Sunday, Hollywood Studios Monday, Hollywood Studios Tuesday.
Mm-hmm.
And we were like, shit, we need a break. And then we did SeaWorld Thursday and Friday, and we came home Saturday. So, and on Thursday night, me and Stealthy met up with one of my coworkers, and we did Hollow Scream at SeaWorld, which, dude, by all accounts was fantastic. Like, they spent some money on that shit. It was great. Although my coworker tried to take home some of the actors, but that's the point.
Well, the costumes I'm pretty sure are like they don't look like just costumes. They look like they probably like some actual functional clothes. I'm sure they've been.
Well, I mean, like the pirates, they had for lack of a term, I guess ghost pirates, tortured pirates, whatever you want to call them,
Mm.
in one of the zones, and the pirate garb that they had was freaking immaculate. Like Stealthy wanted to take their entire wardrobe for that and bring it home. Like it was amazing. And then they had a spot called the Poison Grotto, and they had a girl dressed up in, I guess, what you would call more of a poison ivy type of garb.
Mm.
And she was in the ceiling doing you know, the I don't know what they actually call it, but when they have the long veil hanging from the ceiling and they're doing the tricks on the veil and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was in the ceiling above you while you're standing in line to get a drink, doing all that shit. And then behind the bar and up high, they had another girl that was made up. She was beautiful, was singing. I mean, they did it up. I mean, they had nice stuff. All the costumes looked good. All the actors did good. Only had one jump scare the whole time I was there.
Which
The
says a
guy
lot for
decided.
you.
Well, the guy decided that he would back away rather quickly because I didn't flight. I cocked my arm out of response.
Yeah, I would
And
imagine they at some point they get that. Like they like it's gonna happen. Somebody's gonna just get instead of a flight and fright, they're gonna be just like, nope, the fin.
most people will scream and kind of run away.
Mm-hmm.
I guess he hadn't run into someone that would cock their arm ready to lock and load on his ass. So he got like 3 or 4 feet from me and realized my left arm was cocked, and he was like backing away as fast as he come up on me. And that was the only jump scare I had.
Mm.
We did go through one really nice haunted house, and it was done really well. Although Stealthy is trying to play with the people that's trying to scare us. There's supposed to be like this trapped, I guess she was playing a little girl or a trapped person with a little girl personality
Mm-hmm.
that had been beaten, bludgeoned, or crazy or whatever. And she comes scooting up to Stealthy really fast, like she was trying to scare her. And she goes, "You want to play with me?" And Stealthy just turns and looks at her and says, "Sure." And she's like, "Oh, really?" And then they're like over there fixing to start playing. I was like, "We need to go. You can't play with the actor. She's working." Jesus.
Oh, so she was cute, I guess.
I don't know. She wasn't. I didn't really get a good look at her, but
I don't have people who want to just play with me, so I was like, okay.
Like you want to be my friend? Yes, please.
Yeah. So I was like,
and
I'm all good.
the girl that met up with us that come down from work, she was trying to take women home, men home. She didn't care if they look good, baby. You could get in my truck. You know, and I'm like, are you serious? Like, I got one trying to take the character actors home, and the other one is wanting to play. I'm like, I'm confused as to what I'm actually supposed to be doing right now, so I'm going to go get another drink.
Yeah. I need to be a little more intoxicated before I do this again. I don't know if you've seen one of those videos where there's like these there's like these escape rooms, right? You know, we supposed to figure out how to escape the room. Well,
Yep.
apparently like this escape house or building where you go inside it with your bunch of your friends, and your whole thing is to hide from the serial killer that's out to get you while you're inside of this place, and you're supposed to
so
be hide.
Dead by Daylight live.
Yes, but they don't always do a great job. And one video I saw is guy's walking around. He's a chainsaw guy. He's not a knife guy this time. He had a chainsaw with him, and the one kid gets caught in a room and gets caught in a corner. He decides to take off his shirt, and he just like puts his head down and starts helicopter swinging at the guy over and over and over and over again. And the guy in the chainsaw is just like slowly backing off. I'm like, bro, this is this is supposed to be make believe. It's supposed to be I catch you, you lose. It's over. It's done. I found you. I caught you. You are now technically in the playing of this thing now dead.
Right.
And this kid's like, you know what? If I'm gonna die, I'm gonna go down swinging with your head down and a helicopter. I'm like, that is not a good way to do this, bro. Also, chainsaw. I don't think that's gonna do very much with your fists. I don't know. You have some Bruce Lee tricks. You can knock out the way, but doesn't mean anything but about the backswing. So I think that would be pretty cool if they had something like that for you to intertwine. But then again, I'd be worried about seeing you on a video cocking back and hitting somebody. It's like it's all for play.
Well, we had a lot of fun with that. That was fun. Stealthy got to ride Mako twice at night, which made her extremely happy.
Mm.
We had a good time. I think for me, the two crowning moments was one when I finished building the saber and I turned it on, and two, there's a moment in Rise of the Resistance where some doors open and there's just this immaculately set up room, I guess is the best way to describe it. That if you didn't know you were on a ride, you would swear to God you were on the ship, that it was legit real.
That's pretty cool. Nice props and scenery setup for beginning of a ride. I'm assuming it's like the first thing.
Well, it's about midway of the ride, I would say.
Midway. Okay.
Before the halfway point.
Right before the halfway point, I'd say. But
right.
it was really good.
So it had like maybe like a theme, like you were going through a story, and the story came upon.
Yeah, it was legitimately a story, and it was good. I enjoyed it. Stealthy found the exit to our interrogation cell with her butt.
Thanks, that
was great.
It's just so juicy. It just couldn't help but press things. Oh,
you know what? We're gonna do this with rollover, and we're gonna enjoy, and we're gonna just show him pictures because he's trying to torture me right now.
Oh,
yeah, but it was good. We had good time even despite all the difficulties, I would say. And of course, we could not go to Orlando without going to some part of Universal Studios. So on the way out, we stopped by City Walk, and Stealthy went in and made some purchases. I got me a Ghostbusters ball cap and some Dracula socks.
Oh.
Well, you got no show and tell, but so the lightsaber. This I will put it in the chat for those to see if you want to go check out the build of the lightsaber and the droid, or just the lightsaber.
Well,
I saw the droid. I saw the droid.
Both videos are up there.
Yeah, I saw the droid. I'm like, I didn't know if it was a full thing, but yeah, go check them out. You want to watch them build a lightsaber, build a droid. I've seen some parts of the clip of like how the beginning of the lightsaber comes, like the women come in the room and she has like a plate of all the crystals on it, and you know she goes around the room and everybody picks the crystal off the plate, and they have a little tray in front of them for I guess the parts coming around. I can't wait to see how yours come. How yours came about and all the parts. Looks like a lot of parts. But how much in all that, if you were to go to Universal, let's say you're a fan of Star Wars as well. You're a big fan.
Okay, so yeah, if you go to Disney, you go to Hollywood Studios, you go to Galaxy's Edge, and you're just building a saber. The saber itself is what, about $225 with taxes, something like that.
I'd say 300 with taxes.
Right about 3 with taxes.
Okay.
That gets you the saber blade, the crystal, and the sheath.
If you'll just bear with me.
If you hold on a second, we'll actually give you a pretty exact price.
Okay, and then you got all the crystals, so like it wasn't just one though. You got all of them.
Yeah. Here's 4 of them right here.
Oh, they're on the little cool little. I didn't know they were in little chambers. Okay.
Here you go. I'll open this one so you can see.
There's more of them on my desk somewhere.
That's the red one.
Okay. Are they pretty much all like the same spherical shape?
Yeah, they're pretty much all they're close to being the same as far as shape because they have to go. All of them have to fit into a chamber.
Okay. I just wonder if they use the same mold.
The one that's the only one that there it is. Here's the other one because I have the blue in mine, but that's the green. That's the purple.
Okay. Yeah, we need to get you another light from that direction. Stealthy's doing a great job.
Green. And then I got the white.
Okay. I didn't know they have pure white.
Yep, red. And then yellow. And then my blue is inside of my saber right now. That's all of them.
Okay. So that was, I'm sure they made you go through like, go ahead.
Really ridiculous.
Okay, go ahead.
Sorry. Turn this.
So I'm sure that it was like a little bit of a play story. The kids got to get involved. To feel like a little Padawan. All right, I'm sure they're really like
when you watch it. Yes, there is a story going on when you're in there doing it, but it's not like that. It's not specifically kids or Padawans. It's everybody in the room. The way they wrote the story, it fits everybody: kids, adults, everybody.
Okay, so it didn't really just. Let's make this for the kids. Like, no, let's make this for everybody. That's good.
And basically, it's picking up off of the newer.
It's like the end of Ray.
Okay.
Where, Ray is the new hope, right?
Yeah.
And this is after all of that. After all the Luke, after all the Ray. That's where you are in the timeline when you're building it.
Okay, so like the Jedis are back. They bring in peace.
They're
not back.
Ray is back. Ray is trying to get more Jedis. But the funny thing is, like we were walking around and they have a character actor that plays Ray walking through the area, and dude, I don't think they could have gotten no closer. Unless they cloned her ass and stuck her there.
How would you felt that was actually the actor? Because I know sometimes the actors show up at the theme parks and actually do it.
I know it wasn't the legit Ray, but she was so damn close. It was ridiculous. And of course, Ethan had to chat her up like he's trying to get her phone number and shit, take her home. Right. We're gonna jump in the ship and go hyperdrive and stuff. I'm like, look at him go. Shit.
Hey, at least won't be shy when it gets older. Okay, so tell me about the Android one. 'Cause I knew about the lightsaber one, but I didn't very much know that you can legitimately go there and have a build your android.
Yeah, and they have it laid out like a factory. It's like a factory setting. Like you walk in there, you go to a conveyor belt.
All right, I put it in chat.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah. You have a conveyor belt that has parts coming down it, and you literally pick the parts for your droid up off of there because you tell them when you go in there if you're building a BB unit or if you're building an R2 unit or which unit you're building.
Mm-hmm.
And they tell you, on a list, these are the parts you need.
Yeah.
And then you go over there and just start picking your parts. Whatever color, shape, as long as you have the parts that are required to build it. Like, for instance, with an R2, you got to have 2 long legs, a short leg, a body, and a dome. Okay? That dome can be any shaped dome that's out there. The legs and body can be any color you want them to be. It's on that conveyor belt.
I was about to say, how do you choose your colors?
You just pick them up.
So like you might see a red dome, you might see a blue dome, you might see a green dome.
Yeah, it's literally just a conveyor belt full of damn parts, and you just pick up the parts you want.
So you just gotta wait for your color to come across before you can actually grab it.
Yeah, if you know, let's say you knew you were going to build a purple one when you got in there, you would just have to wait for purple legs to come by and a purple body to come by, and you just pick them up. Once you have all your parts, you basically go over and stand in a little area waiting for one of the workbenches to open up. When
Okay.
it opens up, you go up there, set it down, you take your parts out, they take the basket away, and you start assembling your droid. You put it together. Once you have it put together, they put it in a little chamber, do this little activation thing, make sure it all works and stuff, and then you can insert your personality chip.
Which I thought was pretty interesting.
And I bought all of those too. Hang on.
They raised the price on the lightsabers.
Since we left?
How much did we pay? Look
Two-
at it again.
234.29.
And we paid for how many? 3, right?
Mhm.
It's now $249.
Oh shit.
Okay, so they went up by like almost $10 or more.
Well, it was originally $219.
Okay, so then they went up by almost
$30.
$20. 30. Oof. Okay.
But these are personality chips.
Oh, okay. So this makes sense. And I like the display cases. Like they look like more than just like here's items put in. Like they actually look like display cases. So that's cool. So you have what I'm assuming like is sassy, playful, angry, maybe sad. You can have a sad one. I don't know if you have a sad one.
You've got shy, you've got scoundrel, you've got mean, you've got authoritative, you've got
Torrid.
I mean, you got all kinds. You've got the resistance one, you've got the R2 one.
Mhm.
That's which is by the way is the only one that has the R2 scream in it.
Okay. What? Oh.
Yeah, it's got you got all of those. So I bought all of those too because well, I have 2 droids.
Mhm.
I got a BB-8 and an R2.
Which I think BB-8 is like I like R2, but BB-8, even though the new Star Wars were okay, BB-8 was the best part. I loved BB-8. It's just it made me want to almost have a BB-8 myself. But so it's okay.
If you'll wait a second, we can keep talking. I'll show you the BB-8 and the R2.
Okay, so I'm sure if anybody's interested in getting it, because I want to make people informed. If you want to try this out yourself, as far as I understand it, you have to make sure you have a set schedule and a date and time to do this. So it's not just go there and do it.
But incorrect.
So you have to.
I can explain more in a minute.
Okay.
I would recommend waiting until I get back.
Seriously?
But yes, you can try.
I believe
So you
in him.
have to first have to book your time frame that you're gonna be at that park and have the tickets.
Okay.
Then you have to find a reservation slot for that event that fits in that time frame that's open. So like we knew we were gonna go this day and this day. We bought the tickets for that day and that day. And then we had to go online and find an opening at like the droid build shop or the lightsaber build shop and reserve that time frame for ourselves to do it.
So to even do it, you have to choose beforehand the days you're going to be at the theme park before you can actually choose the hours you could actually go do the sword or go do the android. So you can't just like go there and go, okay, I want to do the sword thing. What scheduled times are available?
You can't. Okay, so here's the thing. Every now and then they do have a time where not everybody, the whole thing didn't get booked up. And you can do a walk-in if they have an open slot. But chances are there's not going to be an open slot. Now, that being said, if you're not trying to build your own saber, you can still buy a saber while you're there because they sell a lot of the legacy sabers there. You just have to get in line at the store so that you could go past the counter and they will demo Luke's, Leia's, Vader's, Ahsoka's, all of those. And you can buy one right there that looks exactly like theirs. Get the blade, the crystal color, all that, walk out the door.
Okay.
But if you want to build one yourself, you have to have a reservation.
So what about going into the store, let's say you don't have time for reservation, but you still want to have the lightsaber build experience. Can you still buy the parts and the crystals to be able to go, well, I can't do
No,
it here, but I can do, no?
no,
Well, I
no.
guess it makes sense. Like they want the people to have the experience while they're there, but that would suck for somebody that wants to have the experience that don't have the luxury of having the time schedule to actually do it or the reservation available to them. But if you're interested, that's how you do it. Go be sure to check them out. And so I want to clarify if everybody's interested. We are going to be showing the BB-8 and the Android here in a second, maybe the lightsaber too if she grabs that one. I don't know if she will or not. But those are both in the link in the chat. Well, technically in the live chat. So be looking in the live chat. You should see it in there somewhere. If you scroll back a little bit, you'll see it. So be sure to check that out. Both of them are on his YouTube channel. While you're there, be sure to subscribe button and hit the like button. You like them as well. We are currently at 108 here on this channel. So thank you to all those who have been subscribing lately. If you like this already, be sure to hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. But since you are such a Star Wars fan, let's talk about a different galaxy from far, far away, where no man has adventured before. And this is a thing that I haven't very much talked about very much. And I haven't seen since I was little, but I know you are a big fan. And it's also the day sponsored, for those of you that remember, talked about earlier, I am now sponsored by Star Trek Deep Space Nine, or the other, the Commander Fleets. Fleet Command. It's really confusing. I think the Deep Space Nine is a patch. That's where I'm understanding Corvo's understanding as well. So I believe that's what it is right now. And their models in the gameplay. Now you watched me play the game.
Get off of that.
Yesterday. Go ahead. You can take care of him. You watched me play the game yesterday on the stream, and if you want to help me out, be sure to go check the link down below, download the game, and get your second spaceship, build it, and then if you don't want to play afterwards, by all means, but I definitely say go check it out. Give it a little shot. You might have a fun game with it. What you were watching from yesterday, how you think how true they were to the source material?
It looked like they were trying to stick pretty close to it. But there's always going to be some differences in games like that because they're going to do some add-ons for like weapons and stuff. That, I mean, you got to realize that game is crossing all the time spans basically in some way or form or fashion. So, let's say for example, Star Trek Voyager itself, the ship itself, had weapons that the Enterprise didn't have because it was a newer model ship. It was later in the time frame, but because this game is spanning both, it gives you the option to maybe upgrade the Enterprises to match what Voyager had and stuff like that, which is not a bad thing. It's still all in the realm of Star Trek. It's just diehards need to understand that it's spanning all of that. So you're going to have some crossover in what weapon capabilities and what warp drive capabilities and what deflector shield capabilities and stuff like that you're going to have.
Okay. So they definitely had some of the more iconic ones in the more rare tier of items, and some of the old characters from the old TV shows in the more rare sections of it. But they also had like the cartoon Star Trek. They had the newer movie version of Star Trek. And they had, of course, the early 90s and I would say late 80s version of Star Trek all in one show. And I think the models for a mobile game wasn't bad looking. I was actually kind of impressed.
They did all right.
They didn't do bad. I've seen way worse. And I was trying to go through all the ships, ships on there, and me being the only person that really came from really realistically one generation of Star Trek, that was pretty much it. I didn't have the whole season of Star Trek underneath my belt prior or since then. So I was seeing all this stuff, and I was in I would say I was kind of confused, but I'm glad I've got my boy. I got to say it right because I said it wrong yesterday because I haven't seen the show since I was 12 or 11 data, but it was so nice to like get that character very like a fan favorite character like right off the bat. Like they knew how to cater to somebody like me that was from next generation. That was all about it. Um, are they in the backpack?
Yeah, I got mine with the backpack, man.
Okay, so I'd say like the carrying case is the backpack.
Well,
It's not.
it basically if you buy just the droid, you get a box.
Okay, box.
I
Okay,
got my two with of course the deluxe edition, so I got the bag.
Along with it does cost $15 for the chip.
okay.
That's it.
Is that BB-8
Hang on, I gotta find
magnet pot spot?
Give me.
And that thing actually does roll around.
yes.
So like the head actually stays in place as the body rolls as it goes. I saw a whole YouTube channel to like try to figure out how to work how to make a BB-8, and it looks like a lot of work, but
It's not that much work.
well,
It
so, like,
looks like
yeah, like they were trying to make their own like BB-8. This is like right when the movie just came out, so they were all about everybody trying to figure out how to do it. It looks so nice.
This is BB. The cool thing about these guys is they're remote control. But if you turn the controller off and but leave the droid on, and there's another droid in the room, they'll talk to each other on their own,
Just at random.
just at random.
Too bad you can't have like a permanent charging spot for them so they can do that.
The Genshin stream I did when we got back to get my 3 hours.
Yeah.
If anybody goes back and watches it, they'll hear them sitting in this chair behind me, him and R2 chatting up a damn storm. I even turn around and talk to them, and sometimes like, guys, you need to shut up. Right?
Oh.
But that's BB, and then R2 is in here.
Yeah, okay, they got a bag for both of them. Okay, I thought you stuffed them in the same bag.
I bought the deluxe for both of mine because I'm that guy.
Would you say you're a bigger fan of Treks or War? I know that's a convoluted question. Neither.
I wouldn't say either. I love both of them.
It's really hard to choose, right?
So and there's my R2.
Okay. And how much do these cost, like, each?
If you buy them without the bag and shit, they're $100.
Okay.
If you buy them with the bag and all that shit, it's like $185.
Okay, so all right, a little premium for the bag. I'm hoping the bags feel really good.
Oh, they're canvas.
Okay.
They're like canvas, and the support stuff they have inside to keep the droids from moving around can be pulled out, and you can use it as a regular bag.
Okay.
So it's cool, but they designed it because these droids, when you're there at the park, they interact with stuff in the Star Wars area.
Oh.
Like you be walking by, if they sense it, they'll just start chatting. So they designed the bag so that you could do this. Well, and homie can hang out like a pet bag.
As long as someone goes by and goes yoink and keeps it running, it'd be fine.
Well, there's a chain inside here in the bag. They thought about that shit too.
Okay, good.
That attaches to the droid. But I honestly don't think I need that because if somebody yanks my R2, the next thing they're going to yank is themselves off the ground.
They could be looking. They could be looking up at the grass.
Yeah.
Show him when it's fully in there. How hard?
Yeah. You can't just yank his ass out. Hang on. All right. Let me show you.
It's a pretty good squeeze. Yeah.
So he don't just come out.
So if they don't pull it,
you said something about a saber. So I will find a saber in a minute. and y'all can experience the glory. Keep talking. I'll be right back.
All right. Okay, so I'm going to talk about my sponsors while you're gone, because you know what, we'll go ahead and do that. But I want to also thank HelloFresh for sponsoring me and my channels, and be sure to check them out at 60 on HelloFresh. Be sure to use the code. I believe it's POG6185 or something like that. Be sure to check that out in the description down below. Get yourself off 65% off your first box from HelloFresh. Stealthy. Okay, so what did you get from there while you were there? Because you won the prize of the giveaway.
I bought my child. Oh shit! I got the mask. These.
You bought your kids seeds, and I know you love your
No,
kids.
I bought one child this.
Bought one
because
child.
the other child was getting the much more expensive version.
Oh, he was getting the cool version. Gotcha. Okay. And you also got yours. Like, was that hat that you were wearing the other day also from there, or is that just?
No, that's okay. So this is. Hang on a second.
I was wondering if it was like a Hocus Pocus hat or something like that. Dual lightsabers. So I remember you saying that at one point he was walking around, and every time a Jedi came across, you pull up the blue one. But every time a Stormtrooper or Lord Vader came around, he pull up the red one. Uh-oh.
Probably did. Because he uses that one the most.
Blue wins! Yeah!
Ow.
That's really loud.
There
Nope,
it goes.
it's not dead.
There we go.
That is so cool. At least if you know he hits his brother with it, it wouldn't hurt so much, but that's probably why they're in the office, right? So he doesn't go around smacking each other with them.
Yes and no. It's not necessarily that, because if they have it individually like this, if you notice, they're not as big.
Mm-hmm.
But he has a bad habit of wanting to put them together.
Ah.
And as you can tell, it's not exactly
wieldy.
Short.
Yeah.
Together.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of stuff that'll go flying, right? Kind of deal. But no. Can you hear me? My hat? Who's that? Right there. Why you hit me with your face?
Where's that?
Right there.
No.
Like, it's pretty obvious.
I'm sure that's the carrying bags for the sabers, right?
Yes, this is actually.
There we go. Hats. That's the hat I thought about. Chat. Sorry.
This is as you can see here.
Yeah, they look like bags for pull sticks.
Yeah.
There's actually hang on, let me see.
Something stiff in it. Yeah.
Yeah.
There.
To keep it.
Move so I can do this.
Well, he wants to see this real quick. Hang on.
You know how hard it is to hold this and not turn it on?
I know. No, this is my hat. I got it at SeaWorld.
Oh, okay. I was wondering like if it was like a Hocus Pocus scene or not.
This at, and in fact, I don't have we seen a single hat over there that looked like this. Like I couldn't like where we were at in Disney Hollywood Studios. There wasn't any hats.
I'm surprised, especially
this
since it's October.
I found somewhere else.
Nerd.
Before he goes bananas, let me move.
Alright. So this is Soren's.
Okay, so you went with the golden, and this was what version of the saber? Because I remember you told him
this is the defense and
yours is peace and justice. Hang on.
Anyway, she'll look it up, but
his was protection and defense.
He went for green, or he just has green in it right now.
He has green in it right now. I did let him get one extra crystal. He has a purple crystal.
Okay, so you got a purple as well. It's supposed to make noises when you hit him.
This is mine.
That's so bright. Holy cannoli. Like is that a red light or when it shocks like that? Yellow.
Well,
Okay.
depends on the saber.
Okay. It definitely has a little bit of effect. The sounds are cutting in and out with the sabers, but that's all right. But they do look great. I just hope someday they figure out.
So you can tell the difference between them.
I'm hoping someday that they'll figure out a way of actually making the sabers actually detract.
You ready?
Mm-hmm. That's those things are loud.
That's that one.
All right, hold this one.
Oh, there definitely is different in sounds from the other one to this one. You can hear the
and that's determined by the crystal.
Oh yeah. So what we're thinking how the sabers are made is the crystal might have like there might be a sensor inside of these sabers, and the crystals have chips, and the sensor is picking up what's in the crystals to make the changes in the saber in some facet or another.
What color you want to see?
Well, everybody's want to see purple because it's just more.
I can swap out the color in this one too.
Okay, so I'll let Stealthy swap to purple. Pick another color.
Let's do red. Let's do the other spectrum.
I noticed that the white is really quiet versus the rest of them.
You said red.
Yeah, red. We're gonna have the full spectrum. We're gonna have the good side and we're gonna have the bad side.
Well.
Okay, so let's ask you why you're doing this. If you were to say go somewhere and they have a let's not have that in the chat. No. Report. Yeah, let's not have that in chat. But let's say you go somewhere and
you can block them too. Don't forget that.
Yeah, when I report them, it automatically blocks. But when you go somewhere and they had a Star Trek theme place, what was something you would like to build from Star Trek?
A phaser.
A phaser?
Communicator. A phaser, communicator. Yeah. Batleth.
A batleth? Oh, the batleth would be cool. That would be. I don't know how
you hear that sound just then.
I love that.
Yeah.
The crystals, when you put
that
them
was
in, make the sound.
That was me trying to get it adjusted right in the chamber, and it was letting me know, hey, you ain't quite there yet.
No, it's putting it in. Doesn't matter if it's going in or not. As soon as you put a crystal in there, it starts to sync. I guess would be the best way to put it.
Are you there yet?
Makes
Are you there yet? I think a phaser would be pretty cool. I don't know how you would build a ship, but I would definitely want to build that. But then you're like, oh, just Legos. I'm surprised, or wouldn't be surprised if there's not already someplace you could do that. But that would be some kind of premium thing too, just like the star, the lightsaber. Building a phaser just be.
All right. Here you go. This is the sound for this. This red is specifically Vader's red, because you can get a generic red, or you can get Vader's red. I got Vader's red.
And black. You can get black.
Ready?
Oh yeah. The more deeper tone of the lightsaber turn. Yeah. And it's so cool you can actually have any color you want for the sabers without having the red is so so strong. It's literally almost phasing out your face and your camera. I can barely see the details. Ah, goodness gracious. But it's nice to have such a thing like that where you can have not one memory for it. You can have several memories. The only thing you can worry about is the hilt.
You ready?
Yeah. Oh, so all of them have a different sound.
Yeah.
Okay. It's not just color. All of them have different sounds.
And as you can tell, that one's like a blue-yellow when it pops.
Yeah. So I guess
they all have different colors when they pop each other.
You should have seen Rollover when I gave him the one we built for him. Me and him had a battle out in the yard at night.
So I guess it really changes the aspect of it depending on what crystal is. What colors will flash once you in contact with something. And I'm hoping those tubes are robust, because I'd be like.
It can't be a very strong hit, but it has to be strong enough that it sets it off.
Okay, because I've seen some people like in YouTube videos like having full on lightsaber battles, and I'm
It
wondering.
looks that way. It's not actual.
It's not actually that way. They actually train themselves to know exactly how hard to hit it to get it to react, but not break.
Okay, because that like otherwise I would feel like you have to have a custom. I hate to say the word, but custom shaft in order to make it like impact safe.
You know, there are companies out there that they're not
custom sabers.
They make custom sabers specifically so you can beat the crap out of them, so you can battle. But these are made.
If they battle with these, they specifically trained it.
Let's see what color. Let's do Yoda green.
I
Yoda
like
green.
Let's say I like my favorite color is Yoda. Oh, but I think it's a lot of people's favorite color. So, or not color, but character. So, how long or how far away do you think we are?
Do you want me to put his green back so that I can compare the two greens?
You can.
So, how far away do you think in our society, and with the way the technology is going, until lightsabers are a real thing? Because I know there's a YouTube channel trying to make a lightsaber.
No, they made proto sabers.
Well, yeah,
proto sabers were actually legitimately in Star Wars. They were prior to lightsabers.
Yeah, but like, how far away do you think though? Like we are from.
We are a long ways away, and here's why: it's not that we can't get the energy up, not that we can't build something that can generate the energy. We just have no way to control the length of the beam or the heat from the beam from melting you.
My brain is from controlling contact, because like, you know, in the movies the lasers are touching themselves in contact, you know, blocking and defending, but in real life it would just fade through each other like
Not necessarily. That is not necessarily, because if they're in opposite polarities, they will actually bounce off of each other.
Oh, okay. So you make sure you're opposite polarity from your enemy. That's a really hard thing to probably convey, but I guess if you're some kind of person that can feel the force, you'd have a way of figuring that out. They're plus, I gotta be minus. There we go. Is there a switch on this thing?
All right. So this is Yoda green.
Okay, it's a lighter, almost bluish haze. Oh, it got brighter for some reason. What the hell?
Now watch. I'm gonna do this one more time. I want you to listen to it carefully.
Just slightly though.
Right? Now this is a generic green.
It's a little lighter, just a little bit.
Ready?
Oh, yeah, that definitely has a different turn on sound. Little details like that.
It's just a slight difference. It's a little bit lighter, a little bit softer.
Go off, damn it.
Red. When it goes off. Red, orange.
Ow. Hear it sound different?
Yeah, but the blade keeps on. Is it just the camera, or is it actually happening? It looks like the blade goes from like a lighter green to like an even more vibrant green when you turn on that one.
Yeah, no, that's the Yoda.
This is the Yoda. It is more vibrant.
But it goes from like one shade to a different shade in the camera for some reason, and from our view. And I don't know if it's at the actual thing or if it's just the camera picking up the color difference.
This one is a slightly lighter color. That one's more darker. That's a darker green.
You never would notice that if you're watching movies. Like each saber, unless you're really paying attention, has their own like activation sound. And that's nice little details like that. I kind of wish if I bought a $230, $240 lightsaber, I would kind of hope they gave you a way of like displaying it, like some kind of wall mount.
They offered me a mount, and I said no,
because you want to 3D print it.
I want to mount mine a specific way. So I've designed a mount that will print later.
And you're gonna be putting both of them in the background, or just yours?
Mine and the oldest's will be in the background because he doesn't trust his to be in his room without his brother grabbing it or something.
Supervision. Gotcha.
The Yoda green or the green that I got?
This is Yoda green.
This is his green. That's right. Which color do you want me to do next? Yellow or white?
You can do yellow and I'll do white.
Okay, so let's go back to some more questions. So if you said you were growing up on Star Trek, and you were also a Next Generation, I guess you say a Next Generation boy when you were growing up on the series, and you kept on.
Dude, I started watching Star Trek at TOS.
Okay,
the
so
original.
you watched it from.
I was there. I was there before Kirk took over took over the Enterprise.
Okay, so you were watching it with your dad, but prior to that, or
Yes.
okay, so and you've kept up with, I'm assuming, all the Star Trek since then.
Yep.
And
if you go and look at that thing you have access to, you'll see them.
I'll see all of them. Okay, so I know it's like asking which one's your favorite child. If you would say if anybody should start in watching Star Trek and they're interested in the show, what would you say for them to start from?
Okay, so the first question, because I have a question, because it's hard to answer that. Are you talking about somebody that's never watched it before and you're trying to find something that may draw them in?
Yes.
Or something a fan would actually tell you to do?
Well,
those are two different things.
I would say a fan will tell you to probably watch it from the very, very beginning and probably.
That's right.
But it's something to draw them in, because honestly, if you don't catch someone's attention at the very beginning, they might not be always interested to jump right in there.
I would say the first one, the one you should watch then, if you're looking for action, something to draw you in right out of the gate, like you're trying to find somebody that likes action to get into it. Voyager. Yeah, because right out the gate, you're in the middle of a big freaking space battle.
Okay. And then for me, I could watch a show like that and actually go, okay, well, now I don't want to how now I want to know how it begins. I don't go watch the old stuff because I'm okay with doing that kind of things.
See, but me, honestly, if you legitimately want to get into it and understand what the hell's going on, you gotta start at the beginning.
Yeah, it's
because every different well, it's not season. I'd say every different iteration in the series at some point refers to the previous in some context, in conversations or whatever. You won't know what the hell is going on if you don't watch it.
Yeah, because all of them are connected somehow.
Here's your white.
White's actually kind of pretty. It's a very good light for you. You can turn that on while you're streaming. It's a very pretty. The sound of it doesn't sound like, yeah, it's definitely lighter in a sense. Like it's not like the white isn't. Yeah, it's not heavily unique, but it's not bad either.
Last color, yellow.
That sounds familiar. Oh, that's an interesting sound. That is interesting. I like the way that one sounds. Huh. I wouldn't mind that sound in a different color, though. I like the way that one sounds. That was interesting.
Now let me put them back like they're supposed to be. Anyway, go ahead.
So, yeah, but if there was any Star Trek out there that you would like them to do a remaster for, and like legitimately remaster, not just a kid version.
Are we talking about good remaster?
Yeah, good remaster. What would it be?
A good remaster.
Like as you see, they put time, money, and investment into the show to. I wouldn't say revitalize, because it doesn't need that if you're a fan of the show, but a good remaster.
I would say Next Generation.
Next Generation? You think that would be the one that would be the most deserving of it?
I don't know about deserving of it, but it has a very, very large fan base, and there's a lot that goes on in that one
Mm.
that would help people understand things. So,
And it's pretty far back, so I would imagine some people would have like maybe not as a hard time knowing the lore, because like it wasn't very it wasn't very far in the past, or it was pretty far in the past, but it wasn't so far where there's a lot of information that happened prior to it.
figure out how to take the blade out.
Sort of, yeah. You can hear it. It's
Sorry, these blades are detachable so that you can have just the hilt on display.
Mm-hmm.
And we've been discussing that.
I didn't get it all the way off, but I did figure out how they were at least
Attached.
okay. So look, push down,
Mm-hmm.
twist to the right.
Okay. Give me a minute.
It won't fully come out, but it'll get to a point where you can do this. And I don't know what comes after that, but obviously you have to do something else at that point.
Ah, yeah.
Huh.
So it makes a sound detaching the blade.
Yeah.
Ah, they got all kinds of little bells and whistles in that thing, don't they?
And it's metal too. All this right here is metal. It ain't plastic. It ain't resin, baby. It's like if I took the blade off this and cracked you in the skull, you'd bleed.
Well, it's probably aluminum or maybe brush, maybe stainless steel, maybe. I'm sure
I
you
believe
can.
it's stainless steel if I remember right, because aluminum would bend. This does not.
Yeah. And don't put them up because I'm going to show them on the Genshin stream later in case somebody didn't get to see it. Anyway, all right. So I've been waiting for you to ask me the $1 million question.
How's work?
Yeah, that one. That one. So I left and went on vacation.
Uh-huh.
And I left my work phone here and I left my computer here. And let's see.
All attachments to the world.
Rollover was house sitting and walked by my work phone one day and noticed that it had many, many missed calls and many, many missed messages, to which he chuckled. So upon hearing this, my curiosity got to me Wednesday. So Wednesday night, I called one of my coworkers because he was the only one there
Mm-hmm.
to find out how bad it was going. And he was like, let's just put it like this. Everybody is angry with an individual that's not here right now, and it's not you.
Bless you.
Because the person that was supposed to cover for me decided that that would be the week they would go to Canada to visit one of his other employees.
When they are literally not scheduled to do it and they decide to just take it upon themselves to take such actions.
So, yeah. So everybody was angry. You did it. Oh. Severely angry. She got the blade out.
Nice.
So this is your blade.
Oh, okay. Goes pretty damn far in there.
The nice thing is you can order replacements for those if they get broken,
Mhm.
and you can get different lengths.
Ah, okay.
This is the mid-size length. They have longer ones and shorter ones.
Yeah, just in case you want a Yoda sword.
Anyway, back on the topic. They even his friends were angry because he wasn't there. And when I got to work Monday, I walked in the door and had users telling me, "Thank God you're back." They did network upgrades over the weekend while I was gone.
Smart. Okay.
So I come in Monday and we had network issues, and I come in and we had for 2 days we've had phone issues. No phones worked. I mean, there was all kinds of things going on. I spent this week trying to catch up on the new builds that were coming for people starting work next week, and playing fireman and putting out all the fires that were left.
How many PCs were down?
Oh, it was worse than PCs. Worse than PCs. Printing and all desk phones. and network to half of the building.
So no contacting with the other parts of the building other than just going on foot or by paper trail to contact people from the other side.
Ta-da!
I got a note for them. Send it to them.
Carrier pigeon. But yeah, it's been like that all week. I mean, literally all week. But I managed to get things fixed
Back
and all the
online.
machines built, and the machines built for the people starting Monday.
So you're done.
Yeah, I mean, I was done with the networking part of it Tuesday at lunch.
So you only took
I was
1 day and a half?
I was done with all but 2 of the machines that had to be built by yesterday.
So took you only a day and a half to fix all the networks and another day and a half to fix all the computers and be ready for the next employee. So a total of 4 days to get everything back and running. Where this guy decided to take off a whole week. And, he could have fixed those problems before leaving.
Oh, he could have fixed those problems while they happened had he been there.
Well, yeah,
Anyway,
true.
So there's that, but it gets better. Are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Here we go. So I'm sitting there talking to Stealthy on the phone because we have our adults only trip in December.
Mm-hmm.
And we're talking about it. And she couldn't remember if she couldn't remember if we had if I had taken a specific day off or not.
Okay.
And I was checking it because I couldn't remember. And in the process, he comes over and pops his head over Tuesday. He's like, "Oh, do you need to cancel one of your vacation days?" I'm like, No, I don't. He goes, "Oh, well, so what do you got going on the weekend of December the 9th there?" I'm like, "Vacation with the wife." He goes, "Oh, well, I just booked a trip to Nebraska that week." I'm like, "Sorry, buddy, I'm not changing that. I like where I sleep." I will get fired from here before I change that. Sorry. So he had to go back to his desk, change his tickets, his hotel room, everything to sometime at the end of November. And I'm like, dude, you are not trying to screw me out of my vacation. No, not happening.
I guess since he thinks because he is the boss, he thinks he can, any things that he does will supersede any other people's life and any other person's, scheduled thing that they already had planned months in advance.
He might have used to thought that, but he was told Monday to stay the hell out of my way. And he is never to be gone again when I'm gone. Ever.
It shouldn't take that kind of actions and that kind of reprimands for him to take heed.
Because I had put my vacation days in well in advance before he come up with this trip to Nebraska, my plan superseded his. So he gets to redo his.
Well, I hope that cost him. And I hope it cost him a lot of respect in the workplace and a lot of free room that he once thought he used to have. That's bad. That is just bad. I'm sorry. Anyways, okay, let's get into another topic that I think is a little interesting. I'm sure you've been very busy, so you don't keep up with it as much as I do. I just want to get your thoughts on it. And of course, I'm sure Stealthy would chime in here too. I'm sure you've heard of certain things going on Twitch, and one of them with a streamer by the name Amaranth. Do you know anything about that?
Yep.
Okay. Anybody has not watched it, go watch it. It's all over the line. Another girl got banned off of Twitch for saying for real on a stack, for real, or no cap. And I thought that was pretty interesting. and a lot of people are defending her, and I'm kind of glad that for once the people are defending her and helping, saying both of them are okay. So I wanted to get your thoughts on not the more drama part of it, but do you like that the people are coming for their defense and help them out? Like you seen like that is like I think it's a good thing. I think people are coming for the defense and not just hounding them for
I think
once.
it's good that people are defending them because
Mhm.
that shows that they have support and they actually have a community, and that you don't get that kind of support or that community without doing something right. However,
Mhm.
however,
Don't leave that one alone.
it depends on what caused them to get banned.
Mm.
You know, if they banned you because your beard was brown, I would be pissed and be up in arms. But if they ban you because you dropped trowel and showed the crack of your ass to the screen, I'm not defending shit. Matter of fact, I'm gonna probably be one of the ones that vote and say, nope, no, hell no, no more.
Okay, so do you think they should have aired that on live on their stream? Because a lot of people saying they shouldn't have aired it. I'm like, I think they should have. I think it was a good idea if this was all real, not just a play. Like if this was real, I think it was a
Okay.
great idea.
Stealthy said aired what?
The phone call with their husband, with them like fighting over the phone, and him admitting about the whole like dog thing and being belligerent, and like she was doing it on stream, kind of baiting him, honestly. But I think it was like just show your back.
Basically, what she did is her husband was abusive and demeaning to her. So on stream, she gets on a phone call with him because she wants people to believe her and lets him go off on the phone and admit that he does all this shit on the phone to everybody. And then they banned her.
Well, they didn't ban her, but like a lot of people were like coming to her defense now. The other girl got banned for saying for real on a cap, no stack, all that stuff. I thought that was stupid. But yeah, I'm talking about.
It depends because you have to be careful with situations like that because just because she was on a phone call with him and supposedly didn't instigate it doesn't mean that she didn't like prior to the stream instigate him either. You don't know the full story, so I like from what was happening. Yes, maybe so, but from the fact that there might have been ulterior motives or something prior to that, no.
Okay, because I was saying I was saying that on my stream, and people were like, no. And I'm like, you don't know both sides of the story, but I
well, it's kind of like this.
I've seen both like that happen before though. It's like they're like, oh well, they're so abusive to me, but what you don't realize is they were the ones being abusive first, and then they wait for the reaction.
Well, I mean, for example, me and you get along pretty good, but if I decided one day that I wanted to have a drama stream, we could have a conversation before we even started, and I could get you all pissed off and huffy beforehand and make you out like the bad guy, because as soon as we come on, you're going to nail my ass, right?
Yeah.
Well, now everybody's seeing you as the bad guy. They don't know that before we started, I was over there going, let me poke him a little bit. Let's get him fired up. Let me do. So you kind of got to weigh it like,
take it with a grain of salt.
To me, it's one of those things you have to look at you to make that decision. What do you believe? Because if you believe there's a chance that there was some poking and prodding, maybe you're not to defend it. But if you genuinely 100% believe down in the core of your soul that this girl was in the right, that all she was doing was trying to get people to see how she was being treated, then defend her. But it comes down to your personal decision, how you personally feel about it. Me, I'm leery of any situation.
I'm
like
skeptical
for the same reason. For the same reason we just said, I don't know what she said prior to the stream. So I don't know if he's raging on the phone because she poked and prodded him. Because I mean, hell, I try to be, for the most part, a pretty nice guy, but Stealthy could call me and she knows the right buttons to push. I could be raging And you would think I'm the worst fucking person ever by the way I'm talking, but in reality, I'm not. It's just I'm angry. So you don't know where it's going. And on the other hand, he could be really that asshole. He really could be that person.
Had he called her and it not been like, if she had been streaming for like hours at this point, I would be more likely to believe it.
Yeah. If she had been streaming and he called her up and started raging, hands down, I'd have been more likely to be on her side. Because at that point, I've seen her live on the screen for hours. She hadn't fucked with him. She hadn't talked to him. Now he's raging. Now to me, that takes the sus out of it. Because you don't just randomly call somebody and rage unless you're a bona fide asshole.
Or you've been sitting and stewing for a while.
Right.
Which is possible, but it's less likely.
You know, what makes the whole thing sus is the fact that she called him. Because you don't know what she did prior to stream. She may have called him, poked and prodded him, ended the call, knowing that was going to get him raged up, and then started streaming, called him so that he would blow all over the stream. Then again, it might not have been that way. She could have been like, let me show you what I deal with every day, and not done shit and just called him. We don't know. But the fact that she called him made it sus. If he'd have called her randomly in the middle of the stream, there wouldn't have been no sus to it because he initiated it.
Yeah, a lot of the ordeal would made a lot of the things very questionable, and he said the reason why he said some of the things because she wasn't like listening to him, and the only way to get her attention was to say something dramatic. And that's why his reason why he said he would, kill her dogs. It was trying to get her attention, which is not a good thing you should say in the first place. Just don't say that kind of thing. That's just messed up. But in order to get someone's attention, you gotta say something dramatic. It's a little.
Well, I've known people that the only way to get them to actually genuinely hear you is to say something dramatic. Example. My oldest son. I would never do this, but sometimes I have to tell him I'll do it because they belong to him. So he has those 4 Genshin wall scrolls. He bought those. Those are his. I will never touch them.
And he knows we will never touch them, but sometimes
to get him to lock eyes with me, to hear what I'm saying, I was like, boy, if you don't turn around and look at me right now and pull them scrolls down, throw them in a fire barrel right this minute. Instantly, I've got his attention. I would never do it.
And he knows he would
and
never
he knows
do it,
I won't do it.
Being serious.
But he realizes that phrase means, oh, he's being serious, that he's not joking. Some people are like that. Some people, you cannot get their attention without a big show. Period.
Although, granted, he should have never said anything about dogs.
He should have left the dogs out of it because that's living, breathing animals.
Yeah.
Little dark. Not the point. The point is that
this might be something he deals with every day.
I mean,
we don't know.
We don't know what happens. We don't know how it goes. The
biggest problem is not knowing.
I am subject to look at it like this. It could be either way.
Yeah.
And if I think that it can be either way, then I'm not gonna go yay for either side.
Yeah, because like all the guy streamers right now are like coming to the defense. I'm like, well, good, they're coming for the defense and all that stuff like that. And then there's people like I'm skeptical, and then like they get a lot of flack for it. I'm like, I'm glad people are coming to defense because if this is real, I'm glad people are coming and actually to being defensive. But it shouldn't take this kind of dramatic thing to be defensive. But at the same time, they're all like, none of them are questioning this. None of them are doubting this. None of them are like, this is obviously maybe a little bit staged, a little bit like this was like pre-planned. Let's poke the bear until the bear says roar and then press record.
Well, I mean, and the other side of that is there's a bigger one that nobody's thought about either. What if they did this shit to get attention? What if the two of them knew that this very thing was going to get them the attention? And then 2 or 3 months later, they're happy living in Cancun somewhere.
I literally got shit for saying that on stream from a viewer that was watching me. I literally got shit for saying that. I'm like, but she's done stunts in the past, though. Like, she's done stuff purposely, deliberately to get attention, and it worked in her favor. It was staged. We all know it. And now this is coming about. Like, could you possibly question it? Nope. Nope. It's obviously 100% real. I'm like, well, if it's real, well, shit, that sucks. But if it's not real, should she be banned for doing this kind of stuff on Twitch? I don't know. But that's a question for somebody else to decide. I ain't gonna be here to one to say they should be, but if that kind of stuff happened on Twitch and it was all staged and fake, I think that sets a bad precedent. Is it just
The
me?
reason I'm so leery about it is because my dad is her. He not necessarily what I'm saying is like in that scenario that I told you where he pokes and she would have poked and prodded him and then gone back for the reaction. That was my dad. He would poke and prod until you exploded, and then he's like, "See what I have to deal with."
Yeah, I can totally see that, and I met people like that just deliberately wanted the drama and sought it out any way they could just to make themselves look like an angel, even though they are the drama.
But then the thing is, they get all the sympathy, they get all the praise and all that shit. Oh well, yeah, I'm sorry that you have to deal with that, and all that. And then you're just left sitting there at that point questioning, how am I gonna make it? Because no one ever believes me.
Yep, and then if this was all fake, it'd be like be more people question like how we supposed to ever believe anybody when this happens. When you have example A, you know, like look at this person, they were supposedly in the same situation, and now they did this thing, and it was all fake. It was all really in reality their fault, and it says it really puts a bad image. Really puts a bad image.
Going back to Johnny and Amber, they both were toxic as fuck to each other, let's be honest.
Yeah.
But how many times did Amber poke the bear? And then we get Johnny's reaction on tape. And you could hear, like, she's very calm or laughing about the situation. She's just recording how he reacts.
Yeah.
She knew exactly what she was doing.
Which somebody made a comment the other day. I thought it was pretty smart. I'm like, you're gonna be married to somebody like Johnny for 10 years and not once catch him on camera doing these like really terrible, horrible, you know, and drug addicted things. Like never catch him once on camera. But a few times you caught him on camera, like even then they were like,
why would she when she was in there doing it too? I mean, she'd have to catch herself.
Yeah,
I mean,
true.
My thing is with the Johnny Amber situation, Johnny was no saint. But I pulled for Johnny because Johnny admitted all the shit he did. The only thing he denied was physically abusing her. And if you're willing to admit to being belligerent, toxic as fuck, and shit like all that bad shit, and you're not willing to admit to the other, I tend to want to believe you didn't do the other because, I mean, at this point, why the fuck wouldn't you admit to it? You've admitted to everything else, you know?
Some of the shit that he said and shit can be considered worse than the physical shit he did.
Yeah. And some people's eyes.
To me, he's no saint. I don't think he's the greatest person in the world, but out of the two of them, he was the lesser evil in my eyes. And she was constantly baiting him and recording him and she was looking for a way to start this shit before he even knew they were shit to start. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah. She was looking for that moment to bring drama to get blown up.
From prior to being married, that means you knew what you signed up for and you wanted.
I want to tell you right now, chat, I love all of y'all. But if somebody ever shits in my bed, I'm gonna beat the hell out of their ass. If they're not sick, can't control it, they literally jump up in my bed with the intention of shitting where I sleep. I'm throwing hands.
Especially that those sheets are $1,000 sheets with a 1,000 count thread.
No shit, right?
Anyways, but that's gonna be it for today. Thank you all for coming today. Again, thank you to Star Trek, Deep Space Nine, and to HelloFresh. Be sure to check them out. Links down below. And if you like this podcast, be sure to like button, share it with your friends, share it with your family members. Let's hit this, the channel big number, go bigger. Let's hit 200 by the end of the year. That'd be great. Be amazing. And as always, have a good day, have a good night, have a good life. Much love, y'all.
Bye, guys.
How the